Hello all, welcome to Selenium Python Training series. In this session, as part of Selenium WebDriver, I'm going to practically demonstrate how to automate or handle iframes and frames. So let's get started. First of all, what exactly are these iframes or what exactly is an iframe? Iframe is one of the tags available in HTML. As you already know, HTML stands for hypertext, okay? Hypertext markup language. HTML stands for hypertext markup language. In short, we generally call that as HTML, right? So in HTML, we have several HTML tags. Different HTML tags we can use for creating different type of web elements on the web pages. For example, if you want to represent a paragraph on the HTML pages, we have the paragraph tag like this, right? We have a paragraph tag like this, less than, greater than symbol, in between P will be there. If you want to represent, some hyperlinks on the web pages, okay? Anchor tag is there. If you want to represent some images on the web pages, IMG tag is there. If you want to represent some buttons, we have button tags. Like that, many different types of HTML tags are there in HTML language for creating the different web elements on the web pages. Similarly, we have one more HTML tag known as iframe HTML tag, using which we can create iframes. In order to create iframes kind of things on the web pages, we need to use this iframe HTML tag. Let's go deep into understanding what exactly are these iframes. Technically, I explained what is an iframe. It's one of the tags available in HTML. That is one of the example. Now, using iframe, we can embed another HTML page in a HTML page. For example, there is one HTML page. Let's assume that here, let's say there's an HTML page. In this HTML page, you want to embed another HTML page like this, okay? Or you want to embed multiple HTML pages like this. In a single HTML page, you are embedding, okay? You are embedding multiple HTML pages. So for that, we need iframes, okay? For that, we need iframes, okay? Iframe 1, okay? Iframe, then 2, then iframe 3 like that, okay? So here, in a single HTML web page, if you want to embed multiple pages, we need iframes, okay? So I'm going to practically show you how to use that one of the HTML tags, that is iframe tag in HTML, in order to embed other pages in a single page, okay? Okay, so let me show you that. So using iframe, we can embed another HTML page in a HTML page, okay? So practical demonstration I'm going to do now, guys. So for that, I'll open this, Notepad or Notepad++, anything is fine. Now let me open that. Here, you see a new file I'm creating. Just let me drag this if possible. Move to other view. No. Let me close this and create one more. So here what I'm going to do is here I'm going to write some HTML code, guys. Okay. So HTML/HTML. In HTML, I'll write head/head. Here inside the head tags, I'll write title tag saying iframes demo slash title, I will say, and inside the body/body, I will say, in this I'll write down, I'll create a frame, guys, okay, iframe. So if I don't provide anything, a normal HTML page will be there, guys. First, let me save this without embedding any frames inside this HTML page. How does this page look like? Let's see first. File, save as, go to some location on your machine where you feel comfortable, and there you save this file, guys, okay? So I'll name this file as iframes demo like that, okay? .html, I'll give the extension, and here I'll say all types. Just to segregate, I'm just giving a folder. Inside the folder, I'm saving this. Okay, now this HTML file got saved there in one of the locations in my machine. So inside this body tags, I'll create inside this body tags, I'll create iframe. Okay. So before creating this iframe, if I save this and go to the location where I've saved this HTML file, I'll go to that location, guys. Here in the new folder, we have that. And here we have iframes demo.html. Double click on that. It will open in the Chrome browser. Let it open in the Chrome browser. As you can see, when I open this HTML page, a blank page is coming. So now I want to embed some other pages in this single page. Okay, in this single page, I want to embed one other page. Let's say I want to embed this application, omaya.blogspot.com website page. I want to embed here, homepage of this omaya.blogspot.com. I want to embed here as one of the portion. Okay, how to do that? So I'll copy this URL, guys. I'll copy this URL. I'll go back to the HTML code. I'll go back to this, HTML code here and write down inside the body tags. I'll write iframe here. Starting and ending tags of the iframe I'll provide first. And in the starting tag, I'll provide something known as src attribute. In double quotes, I'll give the URL. Just now I copied this application URL, right? The page URL, homepage URL of this omai.blogspot.com that I want to embed in the plain web page that we have seen. Now save this, guys. Now save this and you just go here and refresh this file once, okay? Whatever the changes you have done to this iframes demo, if you refresh in the browser, let's see, are you seeing any changes? Yes, something got embedded here, you see. Some scrollers are coming. Horizontal and vertical scrolls have come and, scroll bars have come. But the page is not properly embedded because, a very limited space is given to this embedded web page in this. So what I'll do is I'll give some height and width in it. Okay, height, I'll just give the height as 800 as a height, let's say. Width, I'll give that as 350, let's say. Okay, let's see. I'll just giving some random numbers. If they suit, that's okay. Save this and just refresh here. You see, 800 is too much of size, so I'll just reduce this to 600. Now save this, refresh. Now it's fine. You see, this is the width and this is the height, right? I can increase this, guys. Okay, if I want, I can increase this to 700 just until I feel that this looks good also. Yeah, now it looks good for me. Proper space I have given for embedding this. Another HTML web page in this HTML page. Okay, in a single HTML page, we have embedded another web page. Is it that only one HTML page can be embedded in a single web page? No, we can have any number. Okay, I want to embed a few other HTML pages. Okay, so let's say I want to go with another website, that's selenium.dev, not selenium.dev, selenium143.blogspot.com. I want to this HTML web page I want to embed here, guys. Okay, I want to embed that here. I'll copy this, guys. I'll copy this. Come back here, and here I'll create one more iframe. How many web pages you want to embed? That many iframes you have to create here with that SR6 with the URL of the application web pages, and give the height as again same 700. I'm going to give, guys, to this also, and width also I'm going to give the same width, that is 350 width I'm going to give, and here say slash iframe. Okay, now save this. Now come back here and refresh. You see one more HTML page got embedded here. Okay, similarly you can embed few more HTML pages. Let's say I want to embed one more HTML pages, that is have one more website. Selenium by arun.blogspot.com website is there. I'll copy this. Want to embed that here. So for that again I'll go here and create one more iframe. Slash. Technically speaking, this is what is an iframe, guys. Okay. Technically in HTML pages, if you want to embed some other HTML pages, then you have to use this iframe things. Okay. Do that and give the same height. I'll copy paste the height and width here. Why to waste the time, right? Now save this, come back here and refresh once. And just delete this and refresh this. You'll get one more iframe now. There's some more space, guys. Can we add one more iframe? Can we embed one more, HTML page or something like that? I think we can do that. So I'll go with my website, that is qfox.com. Okay, I'll embed this my website qfox.com into this remaining place. I'll copy this URL here. Again, the same process I'm going to follow. That is, I'll go to this and create iframe. src is equal to, give that iframe. Then height is equal to 700. Then width is equal to 350, let's say. Okay. slash iframe. Slash iframe and that. Now save this. Now go back and refresh again and observe that now we have 4 HTML pages embedded in this single web page. With the help of iframes, this is possible. Oh guys, you got the confidence on what exactly is an iframe. Now you understand technically what exactly is an iframe. Iframe is a concept belonging to HTML guys, and this is what is the purpose of the iframe, to embed another HTML page in the single HTML page. Okay. I practically demonstrated that already just now by writing the HTML code. So examples but in real time is very rare that we see one HTML web page embedding some other HTML web pages of different websites and all. But in real time, iframe is used for a different purpose. Okay, iframe may not be used for this kind of purposes in real time, though iframe has a capability of embedding any page that you provide. Okay, in the single HTML page. But how this is practically or real time, how this iframe is being used. Further, guys, we have an example of W3 schools, guys. I'll show you. So just go to this W3 skills website here. Okay. I'll show you an example of how the iframes is being used there. How another HTML page is embedded in a single HTML page for which purpose and all. I'll show you. Go here and click on that and go to one of the tutorial. Let's say HTML tutorial itself. And now you see some example and write yourself button is there. Click on that. You are taken to one web page, guys. Okay, this is one single HTML page, and here in this HTML page there is some other HTML page embedded. For example, this part, the result part. Here they are giving you some editor, guys. Okay, they are giving you some editor. When you write some HTML code here and click on run button, right, the output will come on this side. So this need to be a separate page, guys. Basically, this need to be a separate page. But to get the results in the same page where the HTML code is written, and for that reason, what this website people have done is w3schools.com website people have done is they have embedded this results page into the same HTML page where you are writing the HTML code. Okay. So here, let's say I'll give the heading as, instead of this is heading, I'll give Arun Motori as the heading. Okay, my name as a heading, and when I click on the run button, the result of this HTML page will be rendered here, and HTML page result will be coming here. Okay, but this is a separate page, guys. This part is a separate page. So click on this, and this can be anywhere, but you see when I run here, it will be very interactive. If I click on run button, if I see the results on the right side, that will be good, right? So that idea was generated by this W3 schools. Now right click here, how to know that this particular portion is an iframe, is a separate HTML page embedded here. Okay, in a proper manner it got embedded. Right click here, you will get view frame source, reload frame, like that some options will come. If you're getting this frame options means this is part of an iframe, guys. Okay, right click inspect here, somewhere on this page, which feels like they have embedded here. Right click inspect that, and here you see there's an iframe here. Okay, this is an HTML page. Okay, this complete thing is an HTML page. The separate page guys embedded in the same HTML page to see the results at the same page level. Okay, so in real time, this is how the iframes can be used. Okay, so guys, you got some idea. You got some idea what exactly is an iframe and what's the purpose of the iframes, and how they are actually used in real time. One of the example I showed you. Right now, there is one more thing that you need to understand. Apart from iframes in HTML, we have something known as frame also. Here I is an extra thing. Iframe, here normal frame. What is the difference between a normal frame and an iframe? You have to understand this. Okay, I'll give you examples and everything. What is the difference between a normal frame and an iframe? So for whatever I've shown you is an iframe. So let me give you a small example of what exactly is an iframe and what is the difference between frame and iframe. Here I'll write down iframe, guys. Okay, this side I'll write down iframe, and this side I'll write down frame. Okay, this side I'm writing iframe, and this side I'm writing frame. So if you are using HTML iframe tag, and if you're using frame tag from HTML, so when we have to use that? Okay, let's say there is a page, guys. At any portion of this page, if you want to embed some other HTML page, so this HTML page can be part of the same website or different website, doesn't matter. But any portion of this page, at any area of this page, okay, customizedly you want one page to be embedded. In that case, you can go with iframe, guys. Okay, this is what. But now you want a situation where there is an HTML page. You want to divide this HTML page into multiple sections. For example, like this, I want to divide. Okay, like this, I want to divide. I want to create sections out of this page. Okay, a single page is there. These are not embedding of other pages. Rather, I am dividing this single HTML page into multiple sections, where I have some items here on the left side. When some people click on these items, right, high level description will come here, and detailed description will come here. Something like that, okay, I want. So in that case, instead of creating this iframes, we go with the frames, a proper organized way of dividing the page into multiple sections. Okay, this is one frame, this is another frame, this is one other frame. Okay, here dividing the sections of the page. Okay, to segregate the page into multiple sections visually, then we go with the frame. But to embed some other page inside this single HTML page, we go with iframe. That's the difference between iframe and frame, guys. Iframe, you can embed the page anywhere, but in frame, categorization will be clear, crystal clear, guys. Okay, you have to divide the page into either 2 parts, 3 parts, something like that. So kind of thing will be there. But here, at any portion of this HTML page, you can embed a page. That's what is the difference between an iframe and frame, guys. Okay. So I'll give you some examples. Don't worry, where exactly iframes are used, and okay, examples of applications using frames. Just type this in the Google, guys, Java 8 API. Just type. This is an example of an iframe, right? These are iframes. Okay, if you want to embed some other pages here like this, you have to go with. Here we are not dividing the page into multiple sections. Rather, you are simply embedding the page at any point of any number of pages you can embed, or any portion of the pages you can embed. That's up to you. But coming to the iframe, I mean frames, you have to type this example. For example, Java 8 API. Okay, just click on that, and you'll get this link overview Java 8 SEO or help center. Click on that, and you will be taken to this kind of web page. You see here, these are not iframes, guys. Okay, you see there are how many sections are there on this page? This is one section, this is another section, this is another section. 3 sections are there, and this is possible with the help of frames, guys. Okay, right click on somewhere here and say inspect here, and you will see some frame somewhere, guys. Okay, you see there is a frame here. Okay, there is one frame. Okay, this is one frame. Under the frame set, we have this frame, another frame, like that. Okay, you see here another frame is there. This is one frame, this is another frame, 3 frames. This section is a first frame. It's not iframe, it is a frame. If you are dividing the page into multiple sections like this, okay, then we generally go with frames, guys. Okay, that's the purpose. That's the main difference between the iframes and frames, guys. Okay, in case of frames, we use frame tag, not iframe tag. Okay, so normal frames will have the frame tag, where iframes, as shown earlier here, have the iframe tag in HTML. Iframes are used in HTML pages to embed other HTML pages anywhere in the HTML document, whereas frames are used to divide the single page into multiple sections. Okay, that's where frames will come into picture. I already gave you the examples for iframe. W3 Schools is an example. For frames, Java 8 API pages are examples. Now we understood what exactly frames and iframes are. Whether you right click on the frames or iframes, for example, if I right click on this one of the embedded HTML page, you see I'm getting view frame source, reload frame options. Similarly, if I go to this Java 8 API and go to that page link where frames, instead of iframes, we have the frames here, right? Here also, if you right click here on one of the section of this iframe, here also you'll get the same frame options. This proves that this part of the frames or iframes. Okay. Now, in Selenium, why we are understanding about frames and all, and why we have to automate this iframes and frames, why we have to handle this iframes and frames. Let me explain. So, I'll give you one example, guys. Okay, directly I'll give you one example. I'll take one website here. I'll just take this, this particular web page URL. I'm just copying it and going to the browser, and here I'll run this. This is an example, for an iframe. So what I want to do is I want to go to this website page using Selenium Python automation. After going there, what I want to do is I want to clear this particular text. Like this, I want to clear. That's it. Simple operation I want to do. In this particular text field, I want to clear the text. That's it. So what I will do here, I'll write the code. There's already some code is there, which I've used in the previous session. It will open the Chrome browser, maximize the browser window. Here, this URL we have to give. This will open this application URL. And after that, I will write the code, I'll write the code. I'll remove all this stuff. Here I'll write the code. But I'll inspect this, guys. I'll inspect this. Here, this particular text need to be cleared in that field. Okay, there's a paragraph here. Okay, and body and P is there. Okay, this paragraph thing I want to clear. So how to do that? I'll simply say Control F and this box came. I'll copy this ID, guys. Okay, I'll copy this ID and here write down /body @ID is equal to, I'll give something like this /P. Then this is a part I want to clear this particular text, right? I want to clear this particular text. I'll copy this part, XPath, and come back here and write down driver dot find element by dot XPath. Use the XPath expression of that text field where I can clear the text. I'll simply write the clear command. Do you think this is going to work? This is not going to work. There is a reason. And instead, we are going to get an exception known as no such element exception we are going to get. Okay. What is the exception we are going to get? No such element exception. Let's run the script and see what's happening, whether it is clearing the text. If it's not able to clear the text after, it will give you an exception and it will anyhow close the browser with that errors. Okay. And in the errors, we should get that, output, we should get no such element exception. You see here, it will go to that page. Instead of clearing the text, it will give you an exception. You see? Better I'll give you time.sleep here. After loading this page, right, I'll just give you some time so that you can see visually that it has not cleared the text. Let me run it again. You'll open the browser, maximize the browser and open this application URL in the browser. And observe that, guys, in that text field, you see your content goes here is not cleared. As you can see, it didn't get cleared. Instead, we got an exception. That is no such element exception you will get. Okay, no such element exception. At which line we got the exception? At line 12, we got the exception. At this line, guys. Okay, this clear is not working for this. The reason behind that is this particular element, whatever you are trying to clear, right, is part of an frame. Okay, you see, you have inspected this, right, already. So this part is under a frame. That is the reason you are not able to perform the operation. So why this happens in Selenium is, you see, let's say I'll give a real world example. Let's say this is your friend's house and this is your house. Now you want to meet your friend and in his house there are these 4 rooms are there. Okay, 4 BHK, let's assume. Now you as a neighbor went to your friend's house and your friend is working somewhere in one of the room of this house. Now, once you enter the house here, this house is nothing but the web page in our example. Technically speaking, let's assume that it's a web page. So when you enter the house, can you find your friend here? No, right? So this is a web page. And let's say this house is nothing but a web page here. In this house, there are different rooms here. Each and every room is an iframe kind of thing. Okay. Now, in order to find your friend, not only have to enter the house, that is not only enter the web page, but also from here, you have to go inside the room where your friend is available, right? So this room is nothing but an iframe. So can you find your friend outside this room here? It's not possible because your friend is inside the room. And when you enter into the house of your friend, you will not immediately see your friend because your friend is there inside a room. You have to enter the room. Just entering the web page is not enough. We have to enter inside the iframe to find the element. So here you see this particular part is inside an iframe. Inside this HTML page, inside the HTML page, we have iframe. Inside that iframe, we have this web element. Okay, this web element is not directly under the HTML page, rather it is under the frame. Okay, this is under a frame, guys. Under a frame. That is iframe. So we have to go inside that room. Okay, just going to the web page is not enough. Going to the house is not enough. In that house, we have to go into one of the room in which this particular element is available. Hope you got the idea. Okay, but how can I know that this is part of, you see, I'm simply getting no such element exception here. I may think that this, because I gave some wrong locator, you may get confused, right? But ultimately, whatever the locator you gave is right only. Okay, whatever the XPath expression you gave is right only, but still you are getting exceptions. But how to find out that this particular thing is part of a frame inside this HTML web page? Just right click here, guys. Okay, somewhere here, just right click here like this. And if you get frame options, new frame source, load frame like that, if you get, means this element is part of an iframe. You can inspect this and go to the HTML code and just scroll up until you see some frame or something. You see there is a frame here, right? This paragraph is part of this iframe. So iframe is inside this HTML page. So without going inside this iframe, we cannot find this element. Okay, that's what is the problem. That's why we are not able to find the web element outside the frame. Simple. Okay, directly under the HTML page, we don't have the web element. Is there any simplest way to find out whether this element is part of an iframe, is inside an iframe instead of directly available in the HTML page? This looks complex, right? So what we can do is there's an add-on that I've already covered in one of the previous sessions as part of locators, right? That selectors have add-on. If you have already installed the selectors of add-on, okay, as part of my previous sessions of this training series of Selenium Python, then what you can do here is just go to this, first inspect this. This will get highlighted in HTML under the elements tag. When the elements tab is selected, you can go to the subtag here, guys. Styles is one subtab of the elements, computer layout, event listeners. Just click on this more tab and you'll find last option as selector sub if it is already installed. Now, when you inspect here, it's clearly saying that this particular element is inside an iframe. You see, selector sub is making your job very easy to mention that this element is part of an iframe. It's inside an iframe. Okay. So without you go inside the iframe, you cannot find this element in simple other language. This is the best way, guys. Whenever you inspect an element and selector sub will clearly say that, okay, this element is inside iframe, switch inside iframe to access it through automation like that. In order to access this web element, we have to first switch to the iframe. How to switch to the iframe? For that, there is a command, guys. Before you perform this operation, guys, okay, there is a way where you need to switch to the iframe. So we have to write the code like this: driver dot switch to dot frame. Like this, you have to write. Okay, here also I gave the notes and see where exactly is that. Yeah, this is the code I have given: driver dot switch underscore to dot frame. Now, in order to switch to a frame, we have to give something like this. And here, what we can give different type of things, guys. Okay, that I'm going to cover in the upcoming parts of this in the same session itself. In the current session itself, I'm going to cover switch to frame. So let's investigate this. What exactly this frame is? Okay, here this frame is having an ID, guys. Okay, if there is an ID for the frame, we can simply use the ID of the frame, guys. Copy this ID of the frame and simply write down in double quotes. Sorry. Frame in double quotes, give the ID of the frame directly. You don't have to do anything. If there's an ID for the frame, directly provide this ID attribute value of that particular frame inside this double quotes of this frame command. This will switch to the frame with the help of the ID of the frame. It will switch to. So you're entering into after entering into the house of your friend, you are going inside the room. That's what is happening with the help of this command driver.switch to frame. After switching, can you find here? This will be visible now, right? You'll find your friend inside the room, right? Same way, you'll find this element inside the iframe after entering there. Run this code and observe that what's happening. This time we should see the text should be cleared from the text field. You see, it got cleared. It is working fine. We'll not get any exception this time. The script has run smooth because we have switched to the frame before performing this operation on the element, which is an iframe, which is inside the iframe. So guys, hope guys you understood why we have to handle the frames or iframes. Okay, so the elements will not be visible outside directly under the HTML pages if they are part of an iframe. First we have to switch to the frames and then they will be visible. Then you have to perform the operations. This is why we have to handle the iframes. Okay, in Selenium Python automation. Otherwise, you'll get this no such element exception, guys. Okay, now I showed you only one way. In this example, I showed you only one way of switching to the frame with the help of the ID of the frame, ID attribute value of the frame. Are there any other ways? Yes, there are different ways we can switch to the frames. First one with the help of ID, just now I explained, right? Okay. This is nothing but, okay, with the help of ID only we switch to this frame where this element is there and then we have performed the operation. So this example is all about using here driver.switch to inside the frame. I gave the ID attribute value of the frame. Done. Next. Using name locator of the frame, guys. Okay, using the name locator of the frame, also we can do that. Using the name locator of the frame. How to do that with the help of name locator of the frame? I'll give you one more example for that. Here, let's go to this website, guys. Okay. Here we are going to use frames instead of iframes. Same thing as technology is same. The theoretic concept wise, the purpose is different for iframes and frames, but how to handle both iframes and frames is same only. Okay. This time the example will come with frames, but the concept is same. The implementation is same. The way of writing or handling iframes and frames is same in Selenium Python. But here we are going to deal with the frames. Let's go to this website page. And on this website page, you see what I want to do is I want to click on this description link. That's what it. I want to go to I want to land on this page, and then I'll copy this. I'll directly write down here itself. I'll give this URL. So after 3 seconds, for demo purpose, I am adding time.sleep here. After 3 seconds, I want to click on this description link. I want to click on this description link, guys. Okay. So inspect this description here. Inspect this description. And you will see that this is a link text. Copy this link text and simply write down. Okay. I want to click on this link, right? Let me click on this. Okay. So here I'll just clear all this stuff. I'll simply write down driver dot find element by dot link text, comma, give the link text dot click. Just give click, guys. Okay. Just give click. The moment you say click on the description. Okay. Link. It has to click on the description. But you see here, there's a problem that will come. Run this code. You'll get no such element exception because this description link is inside a frame. It's not directly under the HTML page, rather that is inside a frame. In HTML page, we have a frame. Inside that frame, we have the description. Instead of clicking on the description link, guys, okay, it's failing the script and it's giving you no such element exception. The reason is same. Here again, let me inspect this and go to the selector sub here. You'll find out this time and inspect the description. You'll find out from the selector sub stating that it's inside an iframe. Okay, frame and iframe, it will selector sub will say as iframe, guys. Okay, now you got an idea. Now you got something like that it's part of a frame. So what I will do here is I'll inspect this again and scroll up to see if this particular web element is part of an frame or something. Just scroll. You see there's a frame here, and inside the frame, inside this frame, we have this that element description link. Okay, inside that we have this description inside this frame. Okay, here is a frame. Now, as you already know, if a particular element is inside a frame of this frame or iframe of this HTML page, we have to first switch to the frame to perform the operation, right? Let's see, is there any ID for switching to this frame? Does it have any ID? But you see, there is a name. There's a name, right? I'll go with this name, copy this name, come back here and write down. Okay, write down here. So before you perform this clicking of this description link, just write down driver dot switch to dot frame and give that frame the name locator. You can either pass an ID locator to this frame command and double quotes, so you can pass a name locator to this frame command. After switching to the frame, can you perform the operation? Yes, you can perform the operation. Now it's going to work out properly. First, we have switched to the frame with the help of the name locator of the frame. Driver dot switch to dot frame of that name locator of name attribute value of that frame we provide in double quotes. Now it should click on the description. After 3 seconds, you see it scroll down means it has been clicked, guys. Okay, you see if the description is clicked means the scroll bar will come down like this. Okay, you see, just click on the description. You see it came down. That means the description link has been clicked. So this is another way of switching to the frames with the help of not only ID, guys, we can also switch to the frames with the help of name locator. Now using the web element of a frame, guys. Okay, now using the web element of a frame. So how to switch to the frames with the help of the web element of a frame, I'll show you now. For that, I'll take you to this website page, example website page. I'll copy this and come back here and browse it here. So I'll give you one example like here, guys, there's an HTML page, and on this HTML page, there is a home option here. On the page directly, there is a home option, and I'm embedding another HTML page. This is a frame, you see, this is a frame, as you can clearly see. I'm embedding some other HTML page inside this HTML page. Okay. Now, inside this embedded page also, there's a home option. There are two options here, external home option, internal frame. Inside a home also, there's same home option. Lookalike kind of things are there. Okay. Now, if I don't switch to the frame and try to click on the home link, what happens is instead of clicking the home, my intention is to click on the home, this particular home link. But if you don't switch to this frame, it will click on this home link. Instead of clicking this home link, it is going to click on this home link, which is outside the frame. But my intention is to click this particular home link. What will happen if I click on the external home link? You see, this page is getting, entire page got reloaded somewhere. Okay. Now went to the other page. Now, if you click on home link, which is inside this frame of this particular page, then only this embedded page will take you to that particular page. Okay. Again, let me refresh so that it will reset back. That's what is the thing is. My intention is to click on this link, not this link. Okay. We'll find it out what's happening. Copy this link, come back to this PyCharm ID, and here in the get command, provide the application URL. And after 3 seconds, okay, after 3 seconds, you click on this, I'll inspect this home link. Without switching to the frame, I'm trying to do this. Then here anchor tag home is there. Copy this link text, I'll write down. I'll not switch to any frame right now. Without switching, what's happening, I'll show you. Whatever I told you, that will happen. Driver dot find element by dot link text, give the link text and say dot click. Okay. Now let's see what will happen. This link will click or this link will be clicked. Let's see that. Run this code. We'll open the application URL. And let's see which homepage link will be clicked. External one or inside the frame one. After 3 seconds, you see, it is clicking the external one. And because of that, entire page has been taken to another page. This is not the thing. You didn't get an exception, but you see, the improper results we got. We have to click on that embedded page home link. Okay. So how to do that? We'll see that. So here, first, before performing clicking on this home link, I have to switch to the frame, right? So let's find it out. Okay. Let's inspect this home link and let's go to that selector sub also, where selector sub will clearly say that this particular home link is inside an iframe. With that knowledge, we'll scroll up. This is a home link, anchor tag, scroll up until you see that frame or iframe, whatever that. It's mostly the iframe. You see, there's an iframe here. You see, there's an iframe. Inside that iframe, only home is there. But does this iframe has an ID or name? No, it's not there. This particular ID, this particular iframe doesn't have any ID or name, guys. Not possible, right? Doesn't have any ID or name. So it's not possible. So what I will do here is, okay, what I will do here is, since ID is not there, name locator is not there, the only possibility is that I have to create an XPath expression. I have to create a web element for this with the help of XPath or something. I'll create a web element for this iframe and try to switch to this iframe with the help of web element. So I'll create an XPath expression, control F. The title, I'll take, title looks unique for me. Copy this title and write down / iframe. Okay, at the rate, title is equal to, like this, I'll create the XPath expression, 1 of 1. And you see, this is a frame XPath expression. Copy this. And here I'll create a element, driver dot find element by dot XPath of that, iframe. And I'll store this into, I'll say iframe 1 or something. I'll just give some random name. And now I want to switch to that iframe. Okay, there's a web element, right? Iframe element otherwise. Okay, iframe element. I have to switch to this iframe as an element. For that, I'll say driver dot switch to dot frame. In here directly pass this iframe element, guys. Okay. Instead, you see here we are not passing the ID of the frame or iframe, or we are not passing the name of that iframe or frame. Rather, we are creating a web element and passing the web element to this frame command. If ID is not there, name is not there for locating the frame, you can go with the web element. This also will work. Now run this code. It should work, guys. It should click on the internal home link. Okay, in that frame, inside the frame, whatever the home link is there, and inside the embedded page, whatever the home link is there, it should be clicked. Observe that after 3 seconds, it has to click on the internal home link. You see, only this internal part got changed. Okay, it's working fine now. So these are the different ways, guys. Is there any other way apart from this? Will be enough, guys. Okay, in real time, Using ID locator of the frame to locating the frame, using name locator of the frame is using web element of the frame is enough. But if you still want to know one more item, this for knowledge purpose only, guys. Sometimes we use, okay, to make the things quicker, right? If you're too lazy of, using the ID name or web element, then we can go with the index, guys. Okay, I'll show you one example. Index is very easy to use. Okay, just give that index values. Okay, I just need to give the index value. That's it. I'll go to this example web page. So after going there, okay, the same thing here. Here, how many iframes are there on this page? Only one iframe. If you inspect this here and just check here this particular website, if you check, okay, somewhere here, okay, let's find it out. Just right click inspect here. See, this is the one, and it's part of an iframe. How many iframes are there on this page? Only one iframe. When there is only one iframe part of this page, definitely the index of this iframe is nothing but 0, guys. Okay, I don't have to still use ID name locator. I don't have to go till that extent. If there is a simple page having a single iframe, and in that iframe there is an element, with the help of index, it is very easy to do that, guys. Even I don't have to inspect this and get the ID or name or X, and I don't have to create a web element for this. Rather, with the help of index, so easy it will be. Like, I have to simply say, let me give this URL here. And after that, for demo purpose, sleep time is 3. And then, after that, I don't have to create any web element here. Okay. I need to click switch to the frame here, but which frame? The frame in which this particular paragraph text is there, that is nothing but this frame. I know that it has an ID, but still, I'm kind of lazy person where, I don't want to use an ID or name locator or XPath expression. I don't work on that because in this page, only one iframe is there or one frame is there. In that case, simple, guys, but what we can do is driver dot switch to dot frame of, just give the index value 0. That's it. It's very simple, right? You don't have to give ID name. If the page has only one frame, just go with the 0. That's enough. Index first frame will start with index 0. If you have multiple frames, 0, 1, 2, like that. Okay. But since that particular page has only one frame in real time, there may be some situations where a particular page has only one frame. Then you don't have to create ID name like that. Okay. Simply give frame of 0. It will find it out. Okay. Then you perform this inspect operation, and here we have this body tiny MCA, create an XPath expression for this element that you want to deal with. ID is equal to tiny MCA slash p, and this particular text I want to clear. I want to clear this text. So what I'm going to do here is, here I'll say by dot XPath, give that XPath expression and say dot clear. That's should, if it is clearing means we are able to switch the frame with the help of the index value of the frame. The first frame will have the index 0. After 3 seconds, observe that if the text is clear means switching to the frame with the help of index is good. Okay. So these are the different ways of switching to the frames, guys, depending on different needs and situations, right? We can either go with, we can use ID locator of the frame for switching to the frame, name locator of the frame for switching to the frame, web element of the frame for switching to the frame, or index of the frame for switching to the frame. Done. Now, what else is left out here? A lot of things. Okay. So then we have this part, nested frames, I'll cover in the next session, guys. Okay. Handling nested frames. Okay. So because this session is becoming lengthy, so I'll just make it, part of the next session here. Parent sibling switching between handling parent, child, and sibling frames. That also I'll make it a separate session, guys. Okay. The frames is a very big concept, guys. Okay. So the just understanding the normal frames and the different ways of switching to the frames, this part is enough. Now in the next session and next session, I'm going to show you how to handle, okay, how to handle nested frames and parent, child, and sibling frames, okay, in the upcoming sessions. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.